Round 3, we got ourselves a keep here, which is nice. Do I play the Mimic and then name Elf? Or do I just go for Siphoner? Probably just go for Siphoner, I imagine. Siphoner into Rhino, not bad. All right. They keep the hopefully they keep the turtle back. That makes the cruel finality a lot better. Yeah. All right. So we'll cruel finality before they get a chance to block. Kill that thing. I'll keep the druid on top. I'm all right with that. We have elves. We have metallic mimic. Get in. Ramp ourselves in terms of energy. Let the card drawing begin. So next turn I can go Mimic Druid of the Cowl, which I'll probably do. Alright. I'd probably still stick to the same plan, to be honest. I'm okay with that. Because then our Aether Seers come in as 4/3s too. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, the Rhino would be something to start investing in now too, but it makes much better use of mana to go Mimic Elf. So, one card left in their hand. I have High Spire Infusion. I have 5 mana. So I can play Rhino. Can attack with Mimic. Trade an Infusion for a Turtle. Can also just play an Aether Seer. Get 4 energy. I've got some options here. I have some real options. I feel like the best use of mana is Rhino Infusion. But I might want to save this Infusion, so I think I'm just going to play Aether Seer and then pass. So our opponent's only got 6 mana. Good to keep in mind. Alright, so we can play our 5th land. We can make this block. Attack for 4. And then we'll go... I'll just go Aether Seer number 2. I don't see why not. Makes better use of mana than the Rhino, and it's still 4 power, which is more than Rhino's going to swing for. We're just going Aether Seer beats here. Can you imagine if the Aether Seers were actually 4 mana 4/3s with that ability? The nastiness involved. Do we have lethal? I don't think we do, even with the infusion. We're close, though. Guess you gotta blow up one of those, huh? Makes sense. And we'll play a Rhino. And we'll pass. Rhino is gonna be a growing boy. Cruel Finality. So I could save it, but no. Because we have lethal with this infusion. Alright. So, blue-black. Not exactly sure what kind of gimmick they're going for, though, right? Because we see a Thriving Turtle, we see a Windrake, we see a Mobile Garrison. I don't see a lot of artifact synergies. I guess Universal Solvent is good in that deck, but... Blue-black, saw a couple flyers. I mean, typically Mind Rot would be something you'd want to do against a control-ish deck, but not entirely convinced it's that controlling yet. We need to see more. So let's just run it back. It was nice to see Metallic Mimic do some things. Paid off actually pretty nicely. Gave us 3 cards worth of value, right? Yeah, I guess we'll keep this. I mean, we don't have black mana, but 2 Rampers. We're on the draw. Seems worth it. Alright, it's a good draw. So I can start off with Poisoner now, but no, it makes much more sense to go Druid, because then we can go turn 3 Druid, Poisoner. Which is pretty good. Theorist is good as well. We're just working towards that turn 4 Cowl Prowler. For some reason, it just occurred to me that my opponent played a Mountain, which they did not play in game 1. They just bottomed the Scry there. Important to note. Alright. So, let's go Druid Poisoner. I still like that play. Gets us that turn 4 Cowl Prowler, that sweet turn 4 6/6. All right. Not a huge deal. Not much of a deal at all, to be honest. They did top that card. Untethered Express is pretty good. We do have Tidy Conclusion for it, though. So let's just... 2 cards left in my opponent's hand, right? All right, let's just drop Mr. Cowl. Mr. Cowl himself. All right, I guess we're taking it. Seems a bit too obvious, doesn't it not? All right. Treasure Keeper. So... I can play the Torch Gauntlet, leave up the Tidy Conclusion, swing with the Cowl Prowler. I guess that's what we'll do. We even get to gain a life now off Tidy Conclusion. Pretty sexy. All right. That's pretty tolerable. I'm sure glad they activated that. So we'll take 3. So I guess we can play Aether Seer here. And, sure, I think we'll just force the block. Oh, wait, they can, I guess that's not quite going to work. It doesn't really matter, but they can scry now instead. Alright, they could have saved their guy, but they probably just wanted to block anyway. Basically, what did I force them to do? I forced them to block instead of giving them the option of blocking and doing this, or just doing it before. Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal. All right. If I attack with Aether Seer 2, they just snap trade as Gremlin. We'll just attack with these two. Alright. So I could have killed the Treasure Keeper. I don't think that it would have been that great for me had I done that, though. Necessarily. I mean, I would have killed a bigger thing, but my Aether Seer still trades with it, and now they don't have whatever they get off of it yet. I mean, I assume they're going to get it at some point, obviously, but it's just more of a judgment call, I guess. I didn't have to do that. I could have killed her 3/3. Okay. So I could force the block. No, I guess we... Yeah, I guess we trade. They get the better end of this trade, though. So if I'd left them with the 2/2, they wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah, it might come back to haunt me, unfortunately. But I guess they would have gotten the Aetherborn anyway, right? Mimic doesn't look so hot here. How many elves we got left? We still have 4. So we'll go for that. Probably just gonna, I guess, have to double block the Aetherborn. I kind of have to attack with it, to be honest. I don't have lethal in the backswing if they go to 8 anyway, so we'll double block. We lose both our things, sadly, but that's alright. Alright, unfortunately they had more goodies, so goodies will be had by my opponent. So let's see, if they draw land now, they can use a solvent, which makes blocking not going to work. Yeah, this is actually just a really really tricky spot now. All right, we'll get in with the Thopter. I mean, I guess I can keep Thopter back. Not amused. Not impressed. If I attack with Thopter, yeah, they're going to crack back with the... Whether or not they draw the land is irrelevant, actually. So, we're just going to play Rhino and a Druid. Unfortunately, that Aetherborn is basically the... It's hurting the board here too much. Still trying to go back and assess how different the board state would have been if I'd killed the Treasure Keeper. They still would have gotten the Aetherborn a turn earlier, in fact. But I would have been able to keep their Gremlin at bay. Yeah, I just too much for my brain to process right now. So they have a 7th land, which is going to make my guess block's a little more tricky. I guess I just block with the Snare Thopter. Okay, so now they're... Yeah, it's pretty tricky. So they have the Universal Solvent. What does that mean? I guess that means... So if I swing with Rhino, I'm kind of screwed here, aren't I? Attack with this, they probably kill this. If I attack with this, they block with this, and they trade. That leaves them with the Aetherborn, which I'm going to have to find an eventual stop to. Is that right? I guess I don't have to, but I'm going to go for that. They didn't have to make the trade either, I guess. I don't know why they didn't kill the thing, because now we can smash back at least. I mean, now they're going to do it, I guess, but... True to the cowl. I guess I actually have to swing with everything this turn. Because if I just swing with the Snare Thopter again, they might not use it. They probably do, but if they don't, and then I play a Druid of the Cowl, it's pretty awkward. Just awkwardness everywhere this whole entire game, to be honest. Yeah, let me think about the last thing I want my opponent to play. Sky Sovereign, is that the top of the list, or... I'm not exactly sure. I think it is. I think it might be the tippy top of the list, but I'm not exactly sure. Oh, that's too bad for me. So we're dead next turn, is that right? Hmm. Hmm. All right, so let's go to game 3. Pretty shocked, actually, that I lost that one. I don't think my misplay cost me the game, but I am pretty much in shock that we lost that, yeah. So I could bring in the Mind Rot. I have 0 ways to deal with that's not true. I have the Tidy Conclusion. I have a predicament. All right, I have some ways to deal with it. Do I want to Mind Rot my 3-color opponent? Yeah, because they have, like, Release the Gremlins and weird things. All right, so we'll probably swap these two. Does Die Young deal with enough things? Yeah, I think it does. We'll play first. Yeah, we get to keep this. Pretty good hand. Probably going to end up playing a 3-2 Rebel. No value, but that's all right. Let's play the Rebel. And then pass. Hmm. All right, so let's attack with the Rebel. And then we'll play a Hornet. So I guess they don't have an artifact yet, which is good. Drop the 6/6. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit satisfied that my 3-color opponent is having some mana issues. I could, I don't think it's a good idea to be too aggressive with the The High Spire Infusion. I think a Aether Trade Winds is probably coming our way anyway. That would make this block make more sense, I think. I guess not. Alright, so play the Mimic, name Elf, and then pass. But yeah, I'm currently playing around things like Aether Trade Winds. I'm not in some huge rush to play this Infusion. It does let us push some damage through. However, ooh, Aether Seer, that's good. Okay. Alright, so we play the Aether Seer. Which comes in pumped. We force the block here. And then we attack with Hornet and Prowler. Could have forced both blocks there, huh? Alright, Fenhauler, not a huge deal, actually. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't force the block, to be honest. So, force the block here, and this is probably just going to be GG's here, because we attack with Hornet and Prowler again. Our opponent's going to double block the Prowler, and then we just Infusion in their toast. All right, so our opponent ended up losing. Like I said, 3-color. They basically got punished by Spire of Industry, it seemed like, right? Because they probably had actually, I forget how many cards left in their hand, but it doesn't matter. I ended up going 2-1, which is good enough for me. We got crushed match 1, match 2 we crushed, and then match 3 was actually a pretty close match either way. So, green-black, what was our synergies? I guess green-black sort of energy related, yeah, with some weird little shenanigans going on in there. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back for more. Thanks so much.